Yeah, the Phantom Thieves innocent is down at 3%. Uh-oh. I heard they arrested one of the Phantom Thieves. No way. I didn't expect him to commit suicide. He's the murderer. He deserved to die.
We can finally breathe easy now.
He killed himself, huh? I guess we'll never know his motivation.
So yeah, remember when they showed him they had Sai show Akechi the phone? Sent him from the real world to the metaverse without him even noticing. I'm exhausted. Feels like my consciousness is about to fade away.
Hey, are you all right? Don't fall asleep until we reach our destination.
Okay.
Are you listening?
All right, see Emeralds, guys. Could this be the effect of the drug wearing off? Memories I thought were gone are starting to come back. Wow!
Are you listening?
What are we talking about?
You weren't paying attention? Well, I guess I can see how you'd be lost in thought right now.
Oh, don't give me the benefit of the doubt on this one, Morgana. Just tell me I'm an idiot.
Anyway, we need to talk about how to get out of this situation.
Futaba's monitoring of Akechi's phone has confirmed it. He did indeed have an ulterior motive.
Yeah, so we caught Akechi in the act of declaring that he was going to kill us in jail.
It's on a completely different level than just that.
Not only was he trying to frame us, but he was the true culprit behind the mental shutdowns.
Uh-huh.
His offer to assist us was simply a ploy to frame the Phantom Thieves and kill him. If we go into Sis's palace as he suggests, we'll likely be met by a large ambush of police forces.
But that's the point.
To think he would be this far gone. I know now what it means to feel a chill down my spine.
Yeah, all of them are in on it, right? Everybody in this room are currently in on it. Poor Ryuji Lewis is like, no, he died!
Furthermore, he wishes to bring a police squad from reality into the palace.
If the 8 of us can enter at once, it's not inconceivable to think a larger group is possible.
I didn't think about that, but that's true. He actually brings a bunch of police into the metaverse in order to arrest us. And I guess that's intentional, huh? I never really thought about that, but yeah. The reason that Akechi needed Sai's heart changed for his plan? I think it was just more for the opportunity to try to take them down, right? I think he wanted to have a good motivator to put them in one position so that he could then take them down more easily. I think that was the general play. That, or it was just another way to get rid of Sai in their own way, too.
He may even be able to bring in vehicles or other special pieces of equipment.
He may have looked to take out Sai's shadow, and trying to get all the way up to her on his own is a lot more difficult.
So, this really was just a setup to shift the blame onto us.
Uh-huh.
He made us go after Okumura. Then once we triggered the change of heart, he killed him.
Yep.
And he told us he had seen the true culprit, but it was him the entire time.
The whole time he was working with Makoto's sister, he was really just some homicidal maniac.
Surprise! He's a jerk.
Come on, we gotta take that bastard Akechi down. Isn't that recording we got enough proof to do it?
You'd think.
No, Akechi is merely a tool. His orders come from elsewhere. The grand mastermind behind this all.
It's very true. So the metaverse is this other world where things that people think up become real. Mostly people's what's called cognition of the world around them becomes manifest. So like the various palaces that we've been going through so far have been what each person thinks of their world is. Especially these villains who have such distorted desires that they like become super powerful there. The first one we fought thought that the high school that he taught at was his very own castle where he was the king, and he could do anything with the student, whatever he wanted with the students, whether it be like beating them up, demanding that they do things, or even just sexually abusing them, which was awful. We then met, a man who thought like his house was his very own museum. Where he controlled people, or controlled the very pupils that he taught to make him more famous. People were ATMs in another one. Different cognitions of different things, right? For Sai, the one we just recently took down, it was a casino where the world was just one big gamble that she had to push the scales a little bit to make sure that she won.
An unimaginable fiend capable of arranging the murder of a suspect inside of a police station.
But it is separate from the real world. That being said, the people that are acting upon the metaverse are still real, or are still connected to the people in the real world, in the sense that their thoughts, their desires, their like big pieces are reflected upon the people in the real world. And if you get rid of them, those people no longer have desires, which is not so good.
Unless we find out who that is, we will continue being targeted even if we defeat Akechi.
So Akechi apparently has the power to go into the metaverse, and he's been assassinating the shadow versions of the people out in the real world. And when you die as a shadow in the metaverse, you become a zombie in the real world. Not like a zombie like brains kind of zombie, more like your brain dead, if that makes sense. Like your body's still working, but you are effectively dead.
But what means do we have of learning his identity?
So right now at this spot in the game, do they know? My teammates know what the plan is, and the plan was that we'd let Akechi think that he'd go through it with his plan of killing us, but they know that we're quietly still alive, and that assumes, of course, everything worked the way it's supposed to.
We'll have to make Akechi say it. Though once we do, that mastermind will likely eliminate us.
I think that will be the case eventually, regardless of whether or not we learn his identity.
I'll let him explain, but yeah.
The only reason it hasn't happened yet is because we're an easy target to blame for his crimes.
I just more wanted to explain the whole metaverse business and why that was important.
If he realizes that's no longer possible and abandons that plan, he may opt to kill us immediately.
We need to make sure that he thinks that this is going to be his opportunity to get away with killing us.
Damn it. So we don't got a choice but to go with that bastard's suggestion.
But if we go into the palace like we're told, he'll get arrested, and then Akechi will kill him.
Not unless we come up with an alternate plan.
Palace. The palace. Actually, there's something I'd like to say regarding...
Aha! We can use the palace to our advantage!
Aha! What?
What's this all of a sudden?
There's a way.
Okay.
To get past Akechi and get the mastermind to lay off of us, all while learning his identity.
Woo!
Really?
You gotta be kidding me.
If he wants to kill the guy, why not let him? That is, inside of a palace.
Uh-huh.
Yes, we could have him kill the cognitive version, all the while believing he killed the real one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
It seems that's our only option.
Okay.
Listen close, everyone. I have a plan for how we can carry this operation out.
It could have been it for real. I don't know why I didn't use it.
Ever since the death of their teenage leader, the Phantom Thieves have fallen silent.
I mean, sorry?
However, the police intend on continuing this investigation until the case is fully solved.
Sorry, our Twitter account isn't ablazing after somebody apparently died.
I'm sorry I'm late. I had to finish a few things at work. Where are they?
Sai, where are you doing hanging out in Cafe LeBlanc?
Waiting upstairs. Go tell them to come on down.
She's in on the take.
I'm gonna fetch him.
Whoa!
You're her sister, correct?
Makoto told me everything. Futaba-chan, I'm sorry that I caused you so much trouble this past summer.
It's ancient history now.
Haha! It's funny because they went to Egypt.
Man, that goddamn detective.
Look who's here.
Oh, hey! I'm not dead anymore.
Hey, you big bastard.
You right.
How have you been?
I mean, I died.
You must be fine if you're joking around like that.
It truly is a relief to see your face.
I bet that moron Akechi don't even know we tricked him yet.
Nope.
Still, how'd you pull this off?
Whoa, another one. Welcome, Raiders! How you doing on this fine Friday evening? Hope all has been well. Thank you much, McAfee, for the 17 months and the raid. Welcome, Nudge Melbone. Welcome, Sigma. Welcome, everybody in. How you doing tonight? How's the stream? What was going on? Hello. Long time no chat. How you guys been? Welcome to the big plot twist time in Persona 5 Royal. We got great vegetables of our own, you know. Defend with the veggies. Lorky Mosley, fair enough. This is the part where... Yep, you know the one. Welcome, Raiders. My name is Shadow Temple. We're currently playing some Persona 5 Royal, hitting a very important part of the story. If you do not want the game spoiled for you, this might be a time to depart. But if you are not too worried about that, then let's just keep going. Littlewood. That does sound adorable. What is it?
Isn't this guy considered dead?
You weren't told anything?
Oh no, we didn't tell Sojiro a thing?
I heard my sister brought him here, though.
Yeah, she came over in a taxi, dumped him off, and told me to keep him safe.
Okay.
It was right after they announced he had died, too. Almost gave me a heart attack.
I was saying, I'm surprised we didn't tell him before that, so we didn't worry Sojiro too much.
I didn't have time to explain.
Aw.
Hey, shouldn't we tell Boss what really happened?
Keep him secret. Keep him safe. What is that from? I know that very well.
We wanted to make our enemy believe the leader of the Phantom Thieves was dead.
Lord of the Rings. Thank you. Yeah, you're right.
What?
What we did was make that enemy kill his fake in the metaverse.
Ha ha!
Hold on a sec.
Someone
Enemy?
still died.
Fake? What are you talking about?
It was just a fake version. Ha ha!
The true culprit behind all these incidents set us up. Our goal here was to determine their identity.
True culprit? I see. So you guys were going up against someone else?
Uh-huh.
It was Goro Akechi.
I feel like Sojiro's entering into this conversation of like, are you winning, sons?
You knew beforehand that he was the traitor, didn't you?
Akechi messed up.
Akechi himself gave us the chance to strike back.
Uh-huh.
He made one fatal mistake.
He talked about pancakes.
Couldn't you have just said from the beginning that Akechi was the real culprit?
We had to be careful. He was a smart boy. If you determined that we knew what his true intentions were, then he probably wouldn't fall into our trap.
That wasn't something we could simply bring up.
Are you, winning, kids?
We couldn't have you suspect Akechi. Besides, neither you nor the other investigators would have believed something like that, would you?
It's true. They like Akechi too much.
True.
Also, yeah, it's true. They needed Sada to behave properly. Like, she didn't know anything necessarily. She couldn't be in on the plot until it was already too late.
Akechi was credited with the arrest of the Phantom Thieves. Not even I would think he was the culprit.
Uh-huh.
In other words, you left him alone on purpose. That was a bold move.
A genius that tends to act predictably, thankfully. Hello, Daro. How you doing?
God, I can't keep up with any of this stuff. So what was this mistake Akechi made? What did he do?
He slipped up in regards to Morgana's voice.
Which is going to sound bonkers to Sojiro, because they're like, as it turns out, he was not supposed to know he was not supposed to know that our cat can talk. And Sojiro's like, what? They're about Triforce gifted 3 months of sub into Daro. That's super kind. Get those 7 dots, chat, please, and thank you. That's really nice.
You mean our cat?
Yeah, of course our cat can talk. Here, he's talking right now. Meow, 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 meow.
Yes, Morgana can talk.
No, he can't. I'm gonna go make coffee.
Sorry, was that supposed to be a joke?
Oh, our apologies. That's completely true.
Oh, I'm sorry. That sounds ridiculous. It's 100% true, though.
You surprised?
Does that mean he said something just now as well?
Sai can't hear him either. Which actually, I'm surprised. I don't know about Sai's business here. Sai went into the metaverse, so technically she should. Or do you have to have your own persona, I guess? And thank you very much, Daro, for the 19 months as well. How does that work? It worked so little that not Streamlabs was like, I don't know. But there you go. Now you got 4 months. Anyway, for real. Da 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 da. Thank you very much for the 19 months. I appreciate it.
But you don't understand him, do you? That's how it was for all of us at first, too.
I guess she technically did not go into the metaverse. He did.
And
she
now
didn't.
that I'm grown, I eat 5 dozen eggs, so I'm roughly the size of a barge.
Thank you much, Taildy, for the 500 bits. And you know what? Because Daro resubscribed, and because of Triforce's 3 months of subbing, plus the 500 bits, we are now finding ourselves in a bit of a hype train, folks. The idea here, of course, is that if you contribute minimum 100 bits, gift a sub, resub, or subscribe. Oh my goodness. You get yourself in the hype train if you do it. Thank you much, Sigma Beta, for the 500 bits as well. We made it through level 1 of the hype train. Oh my goodness. And thus, level 2 begins.
Eggs, so
I'm roughly the size of a... Anyway. Thank you very much for the 100 bits, Cunning Dolphin. Thank you much, Skichi, for the 100 bits. Thank you, Sailor Roar, for the 169 bits.
Once you hear that and your
2
brain
minutes
realizes
later.
he can actually talk, you start to understand him in reality.
The only problem with it, Naku, is if I did one for 2 minutes and then multiple people gave bits, it means that everybody would have to wait like an additional... we'd have to wait 2 minutes for the next alert to go off. If you gift a sub, you're not giving away your sub. You are purchasing a new subscription to then give to somebody else. So you're spending $5 on somebody else.
It's a change in cognition, most likely.
Yeah.
Thanks to Akechi's lame acting, we figured out something was up.
Akechi had to have heard Morgana back during Pancake Time over at the TV studio. Right there.
When we talked to Akechi at the school festival, he was acting like he just realized Mona could talk.
But he wasn't very good at acting about it, was he?
We saw him drop a mega hint about it way earlier.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I know a place. I want to go to that huge pancake-looking place we passed on the way here.
And later on, he's like, oh, pancakes,
Oh, am I mistaken? I thought I heard something about delicious pancakes.
But Morgana was the only one who mentioned pancakes.
Mona was the only one who was talking about a pancake.
Ha ha!
That meant Akechi'd already been in the metaverse by then.
And since he was lying to us about that, we assumed he had a hidden motive behind contacting us.
That was between Madoraman and Kaneshiro. Yeah, I believe so. I would go for some churros. What?
It seemed
What about
odd
churros?
upon further thought. His reaction to my pancake comment was an honest one, after all.
He just didn't realize that that you were a talking cat. We got lucky, honestly.
That said, we weren't so naive to overlook something like that. That's why we asked Futaba-chan to wiretap his phone.
And that's when we learned enough information to book him, Dano. Folks, we got ourselves 2 minutes left in the hype train. If you want to get ourselves to level 2, more bits, more subs, more gifted subs, it's up to you. Otherwise, thank you very much for completing that level 1. That means the hype train will succeed regardless. Goes all the way up to level
I
5.
pretended to be interested in checking the phone out, but I was actually planting my app.
And every time, of course, we hit a new level of the hype train, then we get ourselves another 5 minutes to work our way through it. The game, by the way, of the hype train is that if you give during a hype train time, you can actually get yourself an exclusive emote that only come from hype trains, but only when the hype trains are going.
My heart was pounding while I was doing it, though.
And the higher the hype train goes, the more interesting and rare the emotes become.
Even that ace detective could never have imagined a program being installed so quickly.
Good thing we have an ace hacker.
Futaba's quirky nature proved to be a great help.
If I had a way to send me me and my fiance churros, I would figure it out. God. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. What was that sneezing?
That was just an act.
I'm sure it will be, Naku. Someday.
After a few days of listening, this confirmed his betrayal.
That said, Naku, once again, make sure you take care of yourself before you try to shoot for that golden bit. I know you're doing well, girl, but like, please be safe. Take your time.
Then I'll guide the police into her palace and have them catch the phantom thieves in the act.
I'm not going anywhere.
That would be the only way to arrest them, given their methods. I'll deal with them after that.
20 seconds left!
Let me see. We could say he stole the guard's gun and committed suicide during his imprisonment. How about that? Public security questioning
What a line.
will occur on the first day. And with that room, my task will be simple.
What a line!
Is this for real?
That one counts. And hype train complete. Thank you guys so much for all of your support. I appreciate it a lot.
Yes, the guard will be one of ours. We'll have to eliminate him after to destroy the evidence, though.
Poor guy.
So they planned to get rid of that guard from the beginning.
Well then, I will make the arrangements the day after the arrest.
Oh, I get it. The reason why the guard had a silenced pistol was because he was in on the shtick. He didn't realize he was gonna die, but he was in on it.
And thus, the dangerous criminal responsible for the mass mental shutdowns shall end his own life.
And that's why the police that's why, like, he probably wasn't allowed to bring in a gun himself, which is why he had to depend on the police officer to bring it in for him. How did Akechi get the police in there without them questioning it? I think the police were so hungry to catch the Phantom Thieves that they didn't care.
When he does, you will become a great hero who saved Japan from evil. As will I, of course.
I must have just missed the part about the silencer.
I knew he was acting strangely, but to think he was this far gone.
I'm more of a chocolate churro guy, but I mean, I'll take any churro, honestly.
He's no ace detective. Akechi is the perpetrator behind the mental shutdown crimes.
Uh-huh.
On top of that, there's someone else commanding Akechi. Someone with great authority. So great that they can order an assassination in a police station.
Oops.
That's why we had to make a move before they did.
I see.
Also, wasn't this silencer just...
We baited Akechi into Sis's palace.
Right.
Making him dispose of our leader's fake, but think he killed him.
I guess the thing I'm still trying to figure out on that part then, though, is why even bother with the silencer? You were like miles underground. Who's gonna listen?
Can you elaborate on that in more detail? What exactly happened in my cognitive world?
We found the real, the one that you thought.
Mission. Your palace had all the conditions we needed.
Yep, I'm paying attention.
What conditions?
First, we required a place inside the cognitive world that was the same as in reality.
So to confirm, he definitely did take off the silencer to shoot Shafo, which makes sense in the sense that there needed to be one shot heard in order for it to look like a suicide. I get that.
That place is based on the real world after all. Anywhere that's not warped looks just like normal.
Right.
That's why nobody but the person who uses the nav even realizes they're in the metaverse.
Back with Kamoshida, we came in from the station without even noticing.
Right. Man, that brings back memories.
You totally can't tell the difference if there ain't any distortions around.
Yeah, if it looks like if it looks like the real world, it might as well be the real world.
We had already investigated Nijima-san's palace when Makoto brought the suggestion to us.
It's a good question, Bob.
I was seriously impressed by that suggestion. To be honest, I didn't quite understand it, but I went along with it.
It worked. It was a great idea.
Yeah, it's good we have her heading up our operations.
Heck yeah.
Makoto is normally so calm as well, but once her mind is set, she gets oddly impulsive.
Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. That they had the body still had to be around. They can't just make that poof, even though it did technically poof. Yeah, okay, never mind. So yeah, the official story was that Shafo pulled the gun away from the guard, shot the guard, killed the guard, then shot himself. None of that happened though.
I did have a bit of a rivalry forming with Akechi.
Uh-huh.
I just couldn't contain myself anymore once you became a target, sis.
Oh no.
The reason I joined the Phantom Thieves was to heal your heart, after all.
And we did it, right?
My own achievements were all that mattered to me. I was desperate. I wasn't myself at all.
So in other words, we did succeed in changing Sai's heart. So that's nice.
I'm sorry I couldn't see that.
Oh, you're fine, my dear.
That goes for the both of us.
We heard from Mako-chan that you were going to do the interrogation, Nijima-san.
So we're like, well, in which case, let's play around with that.
And regarding its location, I take it you used the data from my laptop?
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry.
First I was afraid. I was terrified.
What?
Go on.
But it was important, you're right. We didn't fully steal it yet because if we had, then we would not have had the palace to use for the interrogation.
There were
I
two
get what you
things we
mean.
were able to confirm while we were checking the metaverse. First, our clothes didn't change when we were down in the interrogation room.
Cool.
Second, the scenery and details outside of the palace proper were the same as in the real world.
It's the only way that it worked.
Once we heard that from Makoto, we secretly went to check it out without Akechi knowing.
No, this game's expertly voice acted. I don't know if anybody is always like, the original Japanese and nothing, but like, all these voices are great. They did a fantastic job in this game.
There was also one more thing we absolutely needed to make this work. A perfect cognitive replica of him in the metaverse's interrogation room.
Right.
Since he had yet to be caught, though, there obviously wouldn't be anyone in that room.
Uh-huh.
Once we saw the casino guests and police officers, we were convinced this would work.
Because that meant we could play it off. Once Sai knew that he was in that interrogation room, her cognitive self would also think that he's in that interrogation
They looked
room.
no different from actual living people.
Whoa!
After that, we just had to work our way into the palace like usual, while keeping Akechi in the dark.
Uh-huh.
Everything went as planned up until we defeated Sis's shadow. However, it was then that we were met with a terrifying, unexpected police ambush.
Was it that unexpected, or did you
As
expect
a
it?
result, even though we managed to grab the treasure, we couldn't get it out of the metaverse.
Oh, no! But seriously, was that part of the plan? I can't remember.
Except that was all an act.
Whoa!
We had prepared an empty briefcase beforehand and merely acted like we were taking the treasure.
So the treasure... Wait, so yeah, we left the treasure in there. We still took it, though?
This was because we knew the police would be coming for us.
Right.
We made sure before the operation that the police would be waiting to ambush us. And just as expected, he totally took the bait.
Ha-ha! Yeah, we beat up Shadow Sai for nothing. Well, it was for something. It was to sell the bit.
Went exactly how we planned it.
Yeah.
And I had been interrogating him with no knowledge of this.
Sorry.
How did you lure Akechi into this cognitive world's interrogation room?
You were an unwitting accomplice for that.
All I needed were the coordinates.
It seems she used this laptop to remotely access the look at this sketch. I love it. I just love the gremlin face on Futaba and then just like the, what is this technology? Asking her about it now would drag the conversation on too long. I should talk to her later.
Akechi disposed of the fake in the palace and left thinking he had been victorious.
Essentially, Nijima unwittingly sent Akechi into the metaverse without him knowing.
It must have been truly hilarious for our leader who sat idly in the real world's interrogation room. Surely he was acting quite cocky by himself in that quiet chamber.
Uh-huh.
So that's why you gave me your phone. I only took it because of what you told me.
Right?
It's a shame I didn't have the opportunity to see that for myself.
I'm just glad I didn't die.
All I could do was try to handle
The
all
comment
the
bits,
messages
absolutely,
that started
Trina.
coming to me on his phone. Huh.
He's too popular.
So in other words, I've been to the metaverse, albeit for a brief moment.
Didn't even know. Well, you noticed a little bit. She was like, ugh.
In our experience, there is little danger when someone enters their own palace for so short a time.
Right.
That's the other reason we had him give it to you. We needed you to listen to Alibaba, deceive the guard, and ultimately aid in his escape.
Uh-huh.
By having you head back to the interrogation room, we could return you to the real world as well.
I mean, I had to think of some way to keep you from running into Akechi mid-assassination.
That would have been bad. That'd have been weird.
Huh. Astounding.
Also because it means Akechi would have killed Sai more than likely, which would not have been so
I
good.
had the slightest idea that such a grand operation was taking place within me.
So that's an excellent question, Rune River. And the answer is they don't talk about it really. Persona 4 really dug into that kind of point, but Persona 5 never really did, other than just they immediately received a persona once they ran into resistance in the metaverse. In Persona 4 and Persona 4, where they explored this idea further, the shadows turned into personas. But in Persona 5, they just kind of jump right in with personas.
Yeah.
I'm so glad he was able to persuade you during the interrogation.
That's true, actually. You're right. Futaba's the only one who has a shadow that turns into a persona.
Even though we knew Akechi's plan, we were pretty worried about that part.
Oh, yeah.
True.
Why is that?
Without Sis on our side, Futaba's plan and subsequent breakout would have never been possible.
Oh, yeah. We needed someone on the inside for this. Even if everything else worked out great, the fact remains that Shaffo would have still been trapped in an interrogation room miles below the surface, and not being dead is nice, but still captured by the police.
That persuasion was easily our greatest gamble.
Just had to make sure that Shaffo was charismatic enough.
We couldn't consult Sis beforehand. It was absolutely the make or break moment of the entire plan.
Right.
Still, I'm surprised you could convince me in such a short time. Were you confident you could do it?
No. Don't remember? Drugs.
Understandable. Either way, I can't believe you went for such a risky idea.
If we could just tell you the true culprit's plan, I knew you'd realize the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Realize that our leader was telling the truth, and that there was a greater evil to pursue.
But we had to hit you when you're at your most vulnerable, right? And when you knew that that Shaffo was telling the truth thanks to the truth serum that you used.
As a result, we emerged victorious.
Then the reason you kept this a secret from me was so you could catch the true culprit, correct?
Uh-huh.
Yes. Plus, you had lost control of yourself at the time.
Nope, I don't have a recording tonight. As far as I can tell, they did it without me today. No biggie. They wanted to record earlier today, but I was at work late.
This is stunning. All I can really do is laugh.
So he did get beat up by the actual police before this whole thing happened, Silvermoon, if that makes sense.
I've kind of figured out that you guys made Akechi kill a fake.
Good. Glad you got that far, Sojiro.
What did you do about the body?
The police never even checked it.
it also fades pretty quick.
Huh?
They had a coroner working to ensure his death was reported as a suicide.
Right.
That coroner didn't take one look at the scene and just passed along a falsified death certificate.
So funnily enough, you know, they're a bunch of corrupt cops that wanted to sell it as a suicide, but there was no body. There was no body to turn in. Whoops.
The bad guys have that much influence?
And that much incompetence.
Murder in a police station would be reckless otherwise. We also knew of a possible conspirator.
Guys, we're legally dead. That's the best way to dodge taxes.
Thanks to Futaba-chan's messages and the guard's demeanor, I eventually came to understand.
Yes!
And since the higher-ups at the police knew nothing of this, they were thrown into disarray.
I appreciate we went the same place, Naku.
As a result, his suicide during imprisonment was reported on the news, just as Akechi planned.
I think back to A Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where there was a character that the main protagonist meets, who's like just laying there, kind of just kind of lopsided with his tongue hanging out, and there's like,
oh yes, the master is spending this year dead for tax purposes.
And with that confusion, he was able to escape with Nijima-san's help.
I don't think the dead necessarily have civil rights, other than like, there's probably some Geneva Convention shit going on there that you can't like mess with dead bodies.
I made sure nobody would check the morgue for his body, and thanks to that, nobody knows he survived.
Yeah, Restaurant at the End of the Universe. That's right. I don't think it was in the first book. It was maybe in the second book.
Thinking back to the interrogation, though, I can't believe what they did to him.
Yeah, it wasn't so good. We got pretty beat up.
The callous use of violence and even drugs is utterly abnormal.
Because, yeah, with that right there, the fact remains, even though this plan went off without a hitch, Shafo still got beat up. Like, he still got destroyed.
If he had lost consciousness and hadn't been able to tell Sis about the phone, he would have died.
Yeah.
I'm truly glad you made it back safe.
Thank you. I appreciate it, too. It was close.
I almost became one of your assailants as well.
Yep.
It still freaked me out when I saw the suicide on the news, though.
Yeah, they had to explain why everybody was like, oh, I don't know, God.
We made sure to live normal lives while he was being interrogated to avoid drawing any suspicion.
Yeah, you know, Shafo doesn't have to pay taxes, probably not vote while dead. That's also bad, though. It's true.
Even with that, I couldn't help but worry for him in my heart.
Well, I knew right away that her plan worked out.
I wanted to believe, but considering what we were up against.
Yeah, it's true. He's probably not 18 yet, is he?
Ryuji's a bit on the dense and carefree side.
Depends if he was in the U.S., depending on what state he in, wouldn't be able to vote as a felon either. Yeah, it's true.
Can it, Cat?
I had to be patient and avoid this place until things settled down. I finally feel relieved.
We knew he was alive, but it was difficult to not worry until we could confirm it in person.
Right? Like, I get you. It's still shocking news to hear a friend of yours is dead.
Now that I think about it, my interrogation was just a formality for the head commander.
Uh-huh.
What a joke, letting me interrogate someone who was meant to die. They just wanted to avoid backlash.
Yep. They figured if you were going to listen to a dead man walk, it didn't matter.
Very well. From here forward, I will do my utmost to assist you.
Well, thank you, Sai.
You saved me, after all.
I did.
That's reassuring to hear.
I'll do whatever I can to help, too. Just let me know.
I don't understand about 2/3 of what's going on here, but I'm in. Anybody want coffee?
Let's take a break for now, though. This old brain is pooped.
He's just, you know, he's like the dad who doesn't really understand the new, like, the new sport or, like, the new band that the kids are putting together, but he still wants to be really supportive, and so he's just like, I'll drive the van, whatever you guys need. I got it. Absolutely. I'll hang out with your new ska EDM band. Sure, great. I know what that means.
Oh, and feel free to use the first floor when you guys want to get together and talk.
Aw.
You'll need a hideout where you can be safe. Just say the word, and I'll close shop early.
Thank you for the follow, by the way. Appreciate it.
Are you sure?
This guy can't leave. Plus,
True.
you won't make much progress if people can hear you from downstairs.
Oh yeah, that's right. Since we are dead, we can no longer go to school right now. Oops.
It's not like this place is the liveliest joint in town. It won't be a huge loss for me.
Let us accept his offer. What a great man.
He is the good guy. The rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated. Oops. All right, so there you go. Wait. Sheffo Star!
That sounds familiar.
It's me, Akechi.
Enter.
Hello, it's me, Akechi, your assassin.
That's the death certificate of the principal offender, correct? Is there a problem with it?
He's committed suicide at the end.
No, nothing in particular. More importantly, you've done well with regard to the prosecutors.
Yeah, no, you're right. Sajira's just kind of walked into a wall.
The cause of
Oops.
death for the SIU director has been settled as a stroke.
Oh, that's right. He killed the SIU director as well. I almost forgot about that guy. I mean, so did the game, considering he never got a name, but whatever.
I had him work quite substantially on forging evidence. His loss should be mourned.
It was thanks to his efforts that I could enter the Phantom Thieves' interrogation room, too.
Uh-huh.
The SIU is in disarray with his death. I'll take my time choosing a successor after the elections.
Okay.
At any rate, I'm now praised as a hero, and I owe it all to the Phantom Thieves.
He was the stand-in underling. Oh, no.
Hindrances are now gone. There's no doubt that this election is mine.
He's going to steal the election for Prime Minister.
What a jerk.
And on to our next story, the snap election for the House of Representatives. Discussion is swirling around potential nominees as the deadline for candidacy announcement nears. Candidates will announce on the 23rd of this month, while voting will be held on the 18th of next.
That's true. We have a lot of friends who figured out we're Phantom Thieves. They'd be super sad if they didn't find out that we were still alive.
Elections, huh? Don't matter to us. It's not like we can vote in them yet anyways.
Uh-huh.
Why don't we resume our conversation?
Wow, we really are going to ignore that, huh? Never mind.
Well, the Phantom Thieves are back together. We can finally take it to Akechi and the bastard backing him.
Yeah! Next move.
Have you figured out who's behind all this?
Akechi accidentally let that slip after the murder.
He actually said, hello, Shido?
He said, Shido-san.
Yeah.
Shido? Feels like I heard that somewhere.
Man, if only kept the TV on for another 30 seconds, because they would have mentioned it.
He is unmistakably a man of power if he has such strong connections to the police.
Oh yeah, because, well, that's probably why everybody was texting, huh?
Shido? Could it be Masayoshi Shido?
I went to school with him. He was a dick.
Who?
He works in a metal shop. I don't know why he'd be so important, but man, what a douche.
I believe he's a politician.
Oh,
Remember,
that Shido.
Ryuji? You said his speech was too loud.
Never mind.
For real?
Count it.
It's certainly possible that Shido is the mastermind.
Huh?
Do you have some kind of evidence?
Nothing material. However, there are various conditions which align with that possibility.
Right.
First, he would profit from damage done to the current administration by the psychotic breakdowns.
But at the same time, he would want some voice for unfettered justice to be silenced where he could.
He's maintained a negative stance toward the Phantom Thieves and has gained tremendous popularity.
Right.
On top of that, he'll most likely become the next Prime Minister if he wins this upcoming election.
Ugh.
No.
Did he set us up with that election in mind?
The Phantom Thieves try to push the best they can against the injustice by registering everyone to vote.
If he is behind all this, that would be in stark opposition to his honest public image.
He tells it like he is.
So his current position and popularity is just him benefiting from the mental collapses.
Uh-huh.
We'll make him have a change of heart, no matter what it takes. Mom.
Yep, Shido.
What is the matter?
He's connected to us.
I had a feeling he was wrapped up in all this, just based on the connections I had from my previous job.
Oh, do tell.
I think the one who crushed Wakaba's research and confiscated her materials was probably Shido.
Wakaba, Futaba's mother, who died trying to research more about the metaverse.
From the moment Wakaba died, I had a hunch he was involved.
That's how he got himself involved with the metaverse, so that he could then use it to his nefarious schemes.
But there wasn't anything I could do, so I chose to protect Futaba and went into hiding.
Uh-huh.
Why didn't you say that sooner?
Well, didn't know it mattered, I'm sure.
You guys would have definitely gone after him if I had.
Also that.
He would have just killed all of you, no doubt. That's what he usually does to people who get in his way.
Good.
Originally, I was looking into the mental shutdown cases. It was then that I accidentally stumbled upon government research regarding the psychotic breakdowns. So I tracked down the whereabouts of that research data and met with the associated parties. Boss was one of those parties. I would never have imagined all of this was connected. The mental shutdowns, psychotic breakdowns, Shido, and even the Phantom Thieves' actions.
Uh-huh.
Way back when, Shido kept saying he was going to be Prime Minister one day. Nobody believed him, though.
So he killed all the people who was nobody.
What's going to happen to this country if Shido becomes Prime Minister?
There's a lot of dead ones.
The issue is simpler than that. This is nothing more than yet another selfish adult trying to impose his will on the public.
Well, when you say it when you put it that way, all we gotta do is just find his palace to finish him off.
We gotta expose that rotten bastard.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yeah, we'll do it like always.
Woo!
Then let's check the nav.
We just gotta figure out how he's involved.
Masayoshi Shido, the guy running for Prime Minister.
There's some dude.
Got a hit! Well, duh. Ain't a surprise he has one.
So this is how we figure out where to go next, is we talk into our phone and say the name of the person we think has a palace, which he does. We need to figure out where it is, and what he believes it to be.
Where would the location be?
What kind of things go through a politician's head?
I always think of dirty money and shady actions.
That sounds about right.
What does he do? And where? We don't got a clue about this guy's life.
We gotta know we gotta know enough about the guy in order to move forward.
His palace must be somewhere that politicians frequent. Any ideas?
It's like Google Maps. You can't just type in Waffle House and then expect to know exactly what Waffle House they want you to go to. The Diet Building.
We got a hit.
That is to say, that's not the building where everybody loses weight. It's the building where government is held in Japan. Should be mentioned. What? I'm very proud of that joke, Marissa. Thank you. All right, see you, Sailor Aurora. Have yourself a good night.
To see himself as the ruler of the Diet Building.
We'll be stopping, folks, by the way, the instant that we have an opportunity to save, and not a moment sooner. Nor a moment later.
Our next target's the big shot politician Masayoshi Shido. We're gonna do this, right?
Yep. We have to.
Hell yeah! Nobody
You work at Google, and you force all results for Waffle Houses to default to the one near you. What a game. What a play.
Of course.
He will be a worthy opponent.
Let's win this together. Time for revenge.
Yeah!
Then it's unanimous.
All we gotta do now is figure out what he thinks that Diet Building place is.
Right.
So that's the app that allowed me to enter the metaverse.
An old fart like me can't wrap his head around all this stuff.
What is this newfangled technology? Why does anybody still use flip phones, huh?
We'll have to deal with this before Election Day, December 18th. That means we need it done by the 17th.
It's that sort of missing with these smartphones.
It's best we hurry before they discover there's no body in the morgue.
Should we start tomorrow then? We can meet at the Diet Building after school.
Be pretty quick, but maybe.
What are you gonna do about school? You can't show up if you're supposed to be dead.
I will show up as my twin brother, Shamo Moon.
Miss Kawakami said he went back home for family reasons.
Uh-huh.
That's what I told the school.
That's fair.
Don't let him find out you're alive then, all right? This whole thing would be for nothing.
What do you mean?
This operation had another purpose outside of escaping Akechi's clutches.
Uh-huh.
Shido tried to place all the blame on the Phantom Thieves and deceive the public at the same time.
He wanted a patsy. He wanted a villain. And the Phantom Thieves filled it in. If the Phantom Thieves rise once again, then Shido still has that villain.
He has ruined countless lives, and even made Goro Akechi, a student, assist him with assassinations.
We need to be as incognito as possible.
A mere change of heart is too lenient a sentence for such an abominable criminal.
That's a good question, Naku. We don't really hear about his parents very much, do
We'll be
we?
making use of the police statement that the leader of the Phantom Thieves committed suicide.
Uh-huh.
The leader, who is presumed dead, will come out of hiding to deliver a grand statement.
He does have a family of some kind, yeah.
He'll say he has escaped prison, not committed suicide, and was in fact almost killed by a criminal.
Uh-huh.
Everyone's gonna flip.
Truly.
You guys thought through all this stuff too?
You know, we're high schoolers. We have a lot of time after school.
We're intellectuals, you know.
Nope.
That's why you needed such a daring trick as getting captured and appearing to be killed. What frightening teenagers.
Our family is just distant at the moment, let's
True
say.
battle has only just begun. We won the first round, but we must stay on our toes.
Certainly.
Yeah, this ain't the time to be celebrating.
Not yet, anyway.
These people tried to trap and kill us. There is no end to their inhuman, conniving nature.
Well, hopefully there is an end, and that end comes from us stealing all their hearts.
We will need to be prepared for whatever may come our way.
And there it is. Wait, there's more.
Finally made it this far. It's already been 2.5 years since we met.
Back then, you earned the media's attention as a young politician who could rise up against bureaucracy. Because of that, those who wanted to preemptively deal with problems tried to tie you up in scandal.
And all those people died.
To think I would fall for the ruse schemed by those decrepit fools in power. I recall that's when you came to me. You promoted yourself saying you had special powers.
So Akechi got into the metaverse before anybody, for the most part.
If it wasn't for the research on cognition that I dabbled in, I would have thought you insane.
Uh-huh.
I made those troublesome opponents psychotic and erased any trace of that scandal.
Spooky!
Who'd think that tampering with a person's heart could trigger a psychotic lapse or mental shutdown?
It's nice that they're saying all this out loud so that we can find out their true intentions.
And when someone like that said he'd support me, I had suspected there'd be an ulterior motive.
There probably is.
It's because I sympathized with your aspiring ideology. I believed that your ideals needed to be achieved for the sake of the country's future.
There are no other saves. This is the rest of the game for the next 60 hours.
Well, my faith in you was precisely why I pulled the plug on that research.
It is very much a villain dialogue trope, isn't it? Well, as you know, Bob.
I only need you using that power. It'd be troublesome if someone else uncovered how it works.
Like the Phantom Thieves?
Wakaba Ishiki, was it? That researcher. She wouldn't have had to die if she just complied.
Uh-huh.
Any suspicions should be snubbed out. Even the smallest doubt must be severed at the root.
That's creepy.
After all, we had an active public prosecutor's office director on our side, until recently.
Astounding, isn't it? To think the director himself often forged evidence to secure his promotion.
Whoa, so weird that you said it out loud.
He was quite surprised when you confronted him about it. He didn't know who leaked that information.
Uh-huh.
I got that out of his shadow, so technically speaking, he did it himself.
Oh, dang!
This country's affairs have become stagnant. The political world is filled with old men who only act to preserve their own vested interests.
He's pretty darn good, Silver Moon, I agree.
General public has forsaken such political affairs and don't even bother. Only ruin awaits us.
I'm the only one who can save us all. Oh boy.
I must agree.
Oh boy.
There's no need to be ruined along with such incompetent fools. I will lead this country to its revival.
All these incompetent fools. I'm the only incompetent fool they need.
Those who get in the way must be eliminated at times. That.
Still, it would stand out if there were continuous deaths and scandals with your political rivals.
Right.
Which is why I made them suspects.
That's not very nice of you.
Prosecute the targets that I turn psychotic and solve them as cases unrelated to you.
Yeah, no. He's the catchy, I hear it for sure.
And thus, the charismatic ace detective was born.
Thanks to your efforts, my clean image remains untarnished, and I've monopolized public opinion.
Marissa's lusting after Akechi. News at 11.
Once I gained public sentiment, collaborators from all sectors began approaching me on their own. The police were no exception. With their management in my pocket, keeping them in check was easy.
But Akechi was destined to be bad. This character archetype of like, oh, you're smart. Let me try to completely and totally nail everything that you were about so I can consume you as my rival. We're watching Avatar right now. It's a Zula with a little less bite.
When the Phantom Thieves emerged, I thought things might become somewhat troublesome.
Lead the Adrestian Empire.
And they were just brats once we looked into it. All we needed to do was lay the blame on them.
When you told me that, I knew then that you were the better man.
Uh-huh.
Their popularity was a bit beyond my expectations, but flipping it made the negative press stronger.
I know, but we gotta keep going. We gotta finish this.
All I had to do was openly berate them. I've been gaining more supporters since.
Of course Akechi's a brown noser. It's his business.
The current administration is dead with ongoing scandals. Never mind the fact that they're my doing. Even the government parties have begun splitting up, and they're dissolving just as planned.
That's spooky, now that I think about it. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
The time has finally come. Just a little more, and I will take the seat of Prime Minister.
Technically, me personally is still on Friday. It's true.
However, inauguration isn't my goal. That's when everything truly begins.
Right. If you thought that inauguration was your goal for being a president or something, that's not good. There's a lot of stuff that happens after that.
Selfish and ignorant masses who can only rely on others.
Uh-huh.
In other words, you're creating a powerful country that can compete with the world.
Uh-huh.
The public resonates with my ideals and follows me. And for that, some sacrifices can't be avoided.
That's not great.
That is my duty as the chosen one.
Just some sacrifices.
Your assistance has been very influential in making my plans proceed smoothly. When I become Prime Minister, I'll grant whatever wish you want.
It's presently 11:20 for me right now.
With this most recent case, my name has become known across the country, perhaps even the world.
Oh boy, so famous.
Surely my story will be passed down as a hero who won against monsters that could control people's hearts.
Oh, well, don't worry, Akechi. We'll show the true monster soon
I'll
enough.
lay low and devote myself to my studies.
I suppose with your age, you wouldn't come up with debauched desires.
Oh, he has debauchery ready to go. It's just that he needs to lay low.
I am thinking about the future, though.
Ba-da-ba-ba. He got to go to college.
Well, how do I put this?
It looks like things have finally settled down. Life's gonna get real busy for you starting tomorrow, right? Get some rest.
Well then.
The chief's right. Let's take it easy for today.
Oh my god, okay, let's go ahead and save up, guys. This has been an adventure, but it has been a whirlwind, and we need to get to bed. So, yeah. Thank you so much for chilling with us tonight. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. I certainly have. We got through the big twist of Persona 5. And I'm excited to see where the rest of it goes and how the whole game kind of paths itself out as a result, especially with regards to the additions added through Persona 5 Royal. There's an entire kind of gaping hole still in the story that we need to dig into, and I really want to find out more information about it. But this will be it for tonight.